Hey there, Russ here. Welcome back to the shop. I know, it's been a while. So anyway, that's why I thought I'd better put something out. I've been working on so many different projects. But I wanted to talk about today and show you where I kind of stand with my, I call it my ultimate PPE helmet. It has eye protection, ear protection, and mask protection, as well as hard hat protection, all in one unit. But what makes it unique is the mask. You don't wear a mask. We're using what I call an air mask. And what an air mask is basically is if I take air and blow it straight across my face with a tunnel here on three sides, so that any air I breathe in comes from this fan, that's called an air shield. So any air out here in the regular atmosphere, I'm not breathing it. I'm only breathing what goes through the fan. So if you filter this and then blow it across, I'm breathing filtered air. So that's the theory, is that you don't need a mask to fit on your face. Me, they don't work anyway, unless I start shaving, which not likely. So anyway, so I've been working on all the different pieces. I think I got all the pieces figured out on this fan. And now that you know what I'm talking about the air fan, that's how we're going to use the helmet and blow air across our face, so that we don't have to actually wear a dust mask when we're in the shop. We only have to wear the hat, which won't be too bad because that also has the eye and the ear protection on it if I decide I need those also at the time I need the mask protection. So it kind of puts everything all in one unit basically. So the fan itself, I've settled on this 5x5 fan. It's a 0.25 amp fan. It's a 3-speed, runs off of 5 volts USB. So, and I'm using this power pack here, which is a 4,000 milliamp hour power pack. You can buy these things for probably around $10 on Amazon. This one was given to me from Magic Jack, and they have lots of different ones out there. They run in that 0.5 or that 5,000 milliamp hour up to 10, sometimes a little less, but this one happens to be 4,000 milliamps. So, and it actually has run this fan for 11 hours and still had over half of the battery pack left. So it should do the job for what I'm looking for here, and I can recharge this on any USB port there is. It has its own on and off switch, so that if I want to turn it on, I hit the button and it turns it on. And when I turn it off, it also has a gauge on there, 4 bars, and that drops off 1 bar at a time. So, and I probably would never let this get below 3 bars. I'm sorry, with 1 light left, it'd be time to recharge it for sure by then. So anyway, to turn it off, all you do is you hold it down for about 3 seconds, and the lights go out and the fan goes off. It's a nice quiet fan. It's on ball bearings, so it takes a long time for it to spin down. But it does move pretty good air. I'm going to build a box for it. This is the other unit I'm using. This is a chainsaw safety helmet. It has the ear protection on it, has the eye protection on it. Now right now I'm using the bug screen one instead of the plastic one, because once I put the plastic one on here and I peel off that protective cover, I don't want it to get scratched. So I'll put that on there after this is complete and I'm ready to use it. So when the when that face shield is down, it seals up right on the bill. So this area in here where my face is, if I blow air in from under the hat right in here up across my face, then that'll give me the air shield that I'm looking for while wearing the helmet with the fan blowing. The ear protection is right here, and the ear protection just pivots down and you can just pop them on your ears. This is pretty close to the size of the fan itself, so I'm using this as a model, and it's a little bit thicker. For an air filter, I'm going to try using cotton balls. So I'm going to put a bug shield in the bottom, cut holes in it so the air can get through, and then put cotton balls in there, put another screen in there, and then put the fan right up against that cotton ball filter. The only thing I'm not sure about is whether to put it on the blowing side or put it on the suction side. your opinion would be appreciated as to what you think. I've been leaning toward the pressure side, but we'll have to see. But once I get this put on, then all I have to do is mount this whole unit with the fan and the filter built into it. The whole thing then will be attached on the back of the helmet right here. And what I'll do is I'll drill the hole in here for the air to blow inside the helmet. Now on the inside of the helmet, what it has this cradle where your head sits. So when the head is sitting in here, this is all sealed in, so all the air blows out. It blows in right here at the back of the helmet with that hole there. So once it fills this cavity up in between your head and the shell, then it's going to blow out all the way around. So we're going to put some foam rubber in there so as to give it a channel to push all that air straight forward so it can't blow out the sides, and the air then will only blow out right in here, which is right in front of your face when you're wearing it. So with this down and the air blowing here, any air coming down is coming from that filtered air. This thing will run on a power pack here. So when I mount this all right here, the power pack will be mounted right on top like this, and all the wires will be managed somehow or another up here. And this is how it'll work. This will be removable and be able to put back on here, and I can reach the power switch easily then. And yet I still have access to these to be able to bring them down and use them if I decide I also want ear protection. So this will be a permanent mount with a cap that will be removable, so I can take the fan and the filter out. If the cotton balls don't seem to work out, which I'm thinking that they will, but if it turns out they don't work, then I might also try a sponge, which will have very porous and making something that's pretty thick, but the air will still pass through it, and that should be enough to capture most of the sawdust that would be blowing around and getting sucked up into the fan. So I might try the sponge method instead of the cotton ball if the cotton balls don't seem to give me the airflow that I really need. I'm hoping that this fan is strong enough to blow through either the cotton balls or the sponge and give me enough power. I don't want to have to step up the power on the fan if I can help it. I'm hoping this is going to be enough, and it's the perfect size to fit back here without any problem on the back of the helmet. So everything will still remain pretty well balanced. The air intake will be right in here for the fan. The filter will be right inside there, so when you pull the cap off, fan and filter can come out and be replaced and put back in and put the cap back on it easily. If I use a sponge, I may maybe put it behind, and then if I want, I can sprinkle that, spray that with a mist of water, so that when it's sucking the air through, it who knows, maybe you can even have it, use it like an air cooler of some kind, turn it into that, or maybe the moisture will help capture the dust as it tries to blow through if it's a sponge. So I might try the sponge with a spray, and that might give me a pretty good protection inside. I don't know how I'm going to measure the microns coming out. I'll have to figure that out, but I suspect that it'll be not too bad. It'll definitely be better than any mask that I can regularly put on my face with all these whiskers, because there's no way any mask would seal against my face anyway. So this should work real well using the air shield technology to keep me from breathing the bad air. If you have any questions about this or how it actually works, you can let me know. I put out a previous video kind of explaining some of this already. But that's the whole thing. I got all my parts. I got to build a box that will be mounted here, and then I can start putting my components on it, and we'll see how it all works. Now, my goal here was to have a face to be able to work in my shop and not breathe any dust in the air if I can help it. I do have air filters everywhere. That helps keep the air clean, but there are still times when I might want to be masked up. This will allow me to do those times without any problem and be able to use it and still be able to work comfortably with or without the eye shield. I think that even if it's just blowing air straight down, I suspect that'll still give me a pretty good protection against the outer dust. But if I need to, if it's really dusty, then I can bring the shield down. So we'll see how it works once I get the prototype done. But I'm really kind of excited to get this done. So that's why I put this video out today. One more thing about air, using an air mask for controlling breathing in dust. The other method I'm thinking seriously about, because I've actually have two different ways of doing it so you don't have to actually wear a mask on your face. The other one is using the same theory as a CPAP machine, using pillows that go up onto your nose and seal up against it, and it pushes air up into your nose. So if I take that pillow mask that they use on a CPAP and hook air pressure to it so that it's blowing air up into my nostrils, to use it, you wouldn't need a mask on your mouth, because all you do is you breathe in through your nose and you breathe out through your mouth. So anytime you breathe in through your nose, that air coming in off that air tube, which is filtered air, maybe a power pack that you carry on your shoulder in a harness or something. I don't know, because I don't know how strong a fan or what kind of electrical is going to be needed to propel that thing, because I think you got to actually build air pressure rather than just moving air. So I may have to go to something a little bit stronger or different than this, like a squirrel cage type of fan, or maybe even an air pump of some kind, like what they use in a CPAP. I may have to do that. So I don't have any idea. But that's the other way that you can actually have a maskless unit, so you don't have to wear a mask on your whole face. And that the pillow, the nose pillow one, has a lot of features about it that I kind of like. It would be very small and not obtrusive like this would be, because that would be a very light attachment on your head, and it would be that one then would just have to have the hose, and then you have to have some kind of power pack that you can carry around or set on the workbench while you're working at the workbench using it. And all you have to remember is breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth, and you'll be fine. It'll work fine for you, just like it does for the CPAP. So as long as you're not breathing in through your mouth, you're not breathing in any dust. So that's the other type of maskless air filtration that I'm looking at for a person that has whiskers, especially somebody that doesn't like to wear a mask. Again, a mask is it really is obtrusive for me because I have COPD, so I've been looking at these other methods. When I finish getting this, if I can get a working model of it, or even if I don't, sooner or later, then I'm going to go to the pillow nose type and see if I can make that work, because I think that one actually would be a pretty good maskless one too. So hopefully here in the future, if you don't like to wear a mask in the shop, I may have a couple of different ideas that will work for you, and it's just going to take a while to put this all together. If you have any questions about this or any suggestions or ideas of what you've seen out there, I would love to know about it, and I would probably check out everything that you guys suggest. I always do pay attention to that stuff on all my projects. So everybody out there has been a big help for us to put something together when I get out there and start doing some of these weird projects out there. As far as my panel saw, yes, I have not forgotten about it, but I haven't been using it hardly at all because, first off, I'm almost out of plywood. I haven't been able to go to the store to get more, so I have hardly any plywood left. And I've been very stingy about cutting it up and using plywood. I've been using a lot of scraps to do the things I'm doing, and I'm going to have to make a major trip to a big box store sooner or later, or get somebody to do it for me. I'm not sure how, but before winter, I'm probably going to have to stock up on some plywood, and then I'll be able to really get into using that panel saw better, and I'll be able to give you some updates on that, because there's some things about it that I've seen that are different when it's on the table saw versus where it used to be. I also want to show you what tools I'm using, and maybe even do a couple of quick cuts on it to show you how I do the actual cuts. So I haven't forgot about it, but right now I've been using it with a little bit I've been on the table saw, and there's some things that are different that I want to make sure I understand before I start relating it to you. So just stay tuned. I haven't forgot you about the panel saw, and I'm going to get that thing going. So, but that darn quarantine has just still been kind of a thorn in the side here. Anyway, if you have any questions about this, or maybe some kind of airless mask idea that you've seen out there. I've seen the ones that seal on your face, like the big full masks with the blower on it. But the theory behind what these two are is you don't have to seal your whole face up. That's the idea. You're using air pressure so that you're not breathing anything but the air that has been filtered. So it's really different than anything you've really seen, that I've ever seen out there. So if you know of anything out there, point it in my direction. I really would appreciate it. So, and like I say, any ideas, questions, leave them in the comments. That way we can probably come up with a pretty good idea here that will help a lot of woodworkers in their shop when we get done. And not cost an arm and a leg either when I'm done. Right now, I got $30 in the helmet. I got $15 in the fan. The power pack would be about $10. And the only other thing you might need would be a few miscellaneous pieces and some wood. So this thing can actually be built for under $75 pretty easily, I suspect, and maybe even less. So maybe you find a better helmet. Let me know. I'm just rambling now. But I wanted to put some kind of video out because I really hadn't. I want to thank you guys for being patient. This is one of the things I've really been working on a lot, playing with these fans. So that's why I hadn't really put out a video. So if you have any questions or any ideas or any suggestions or a new idea, something that you've seen out there that you really want to share, don't be afraid to leave a comment. So I want to thank you for stopping by. If you like this video or you learned something here, hit that like button. That always lets me know I'm doing the right thing. Most importantly though, please come back again because I'm nowhere near done. Thanks, and we'll see you guys again soon.